Hello. Welcome back to another live session, traders. After previous successful session, we started another one for NY. Last day of trading week. Pretty surprising day coming up on gold as well as in all other instruments that we can see currently showing potentially significant trading opportunity coming up. Gold, we can see that there was bounce early on a pullback at the moment, and looking at here on the daily chart, we'll be discussing the previous session's trade as well, which was a successful one, and currently the market is again going as per. You can see the previous session the market has moved back in the direction as expected. Now currently the price again pushing down for another pullback. On gold we are looking at, also we will be looking at currency pairs. Now looking at if there is any signal here, we can see there was one here in that area. So that had dropped on the 30 minutes chart. Now looking at other time frame, 15 minutes. Here is we can see, guys, the market is in fact in a downtrend locally, globally uptrend. So looking at, first of all, as we discussed in our previous session as well, we traded on the daily chart based on and the lower time frame, and we have secured a profitable bullish trade in that area. Now at the moment in this session as well, we're looking to enter. Now because it's weekend, we have to be cautious about our entry. Either it's a bullish entry or bearish entry. I would like to see some feedback. First of all, that all the members are here. Good afternoon. Thank you very much, sir. Waiting for the session. Welcome. Hello everyone. That was a great trade in the last night. Yes, absolutely, Anthony, it was. In fact, in our previous session also we had a big one. Last night was massive. Now not only last night, for those who are following me in this live session, absolutely almost every day in every session we are having a profitable trade, except I think on Friday, last Friday, or one trade we missed it. Other than this is all day, every day we are on the track. Now in fact, if you guys look at the market, we are looking for always the base trade setup, and it's working in exactly as our expectation. Now because there is only one reason, is you guys are dedicated every day joining the live session, and it's for you. This session is for you, and this is just simple trading session, but there's something profound you can learn from here. One of the best thing you guys have seen yesterday's session, the one that we have traded exactly where you have entered the market bounce. Today also in our London session, exactly where you have opened the market bounce. The day before, exactly we have entered the market bounce. Now all those trade is, if you want to go back to our previous live session yesterday and today, I would highly encourage you to see that how the trade was taken and how it worked out exactly as expected. Now we can't expect all the time to work out in that way, but majority of the time needs to be right, because it's a proven strategy. Now as Friday, very expected day to give us further opportunity. Now I'm starting with the daily chart for this analysis here. that you can see from the daily time frame. This is the daily price action where because if you look at here, you can see this is the daily bullish candle, right? Now this daily bullish candle is important because once the market open, from this opening on the daily, the price have gone back to the upside here in this market. And with this bounce on the daily that we can see on gold, which is pretty sharp bounce back to the upside, and looking at the higher time frame for the analysis purpose, and then we will be jumping on the lower time frame for an entry area. So this is the best way to look at the market. Always look at the higher time frame for the directional bias and for lower time frame from entry point of view. So looking at monthly, now from the monthly perspective that we can see, this is pretty sharp bullish market structure from this monthly previous resistance turn support here, and it's a very sharp bull market. That means it is less likely that the market may drop to this monthly support before the monthly close. Instead, you could see it's just the beginning of the month, yet second week of the month we could see that the price potentially maintaining that uptrending market structure. Looking at the weekly here, that we can see the market is maintaining that uptrend on the weekly as well. If you guys look at, you can see that this is the weekly price action where complete weekly bounce, a move back to the upside from the weekly, and with this weekly bounce here on gold, it's still maintaining that uptrending market structure. Looking at the daily, what do we see that on the daily time frame, and I'm looking at this daily support from this high, that you can see the market slowly now coming back to this daily support level, which is very important key level of support here on gold. Now dropping down to the 4-hour chart, now here we can see that in the beginning with the candle open, the market has made its initial move and it couldn't create a new higher high. Instead, from this resistance line, the market rejected back here. So two levels that I'm currently looking at for both buy and sell. Now in this market, we might find in both directional trade. Guys, as the news coming later today, if we look at the calendar, what do you see that coming up? This is the calendar here, and if you look at here, you can see this is 12 AM in my zone, which is 1.5 hours from this time, and we will be looking to enter before and after the news. That's completely fine because we still have 1.5 hours and we don't want to wait for 1.5 hours for an entry. Rather, we could find any time whenever it arises in the market. So this is the daily price action here. Now you can see that this is the daily move where the daily support, which is another daily support, and from that daily support, if you look at, you can see this is the today's level, and any break of this daily open close and the daily low is an opportunity to go long, and at the same time we might find the selling zone as well, because when the market in a sideways, we may find that both directional trade here in this market. So this is the resistance line currently at 3651.83, and in that area if this current sessions, you can see it's still 1.5 an hour remaining for this candle to close from the 4-hour chart. And in that candle, what we could see the market to potentially revert back here, and that's where we will be looking for selling if the market goes back to that resistance line before coming to the daily low. So there are two critical point here that we need to look at, guys. This is very important. If the market drops back below before going back here and reject back again, we might be looking for buying. But before coming here, not after coming here, before coming here, if the price goes back there, we might be selling. But if the market drops below and then reject back, I'm not gonna sell from this level, is because the price already tested the daily low. The bias, the bounce could be aggressive and it could straight go back even to create a new higher high. So get that point here. So therefore, at the moment, we may see that the market coming to this daily low here. Now going to the 15 minutes, you can see that it's a one single move on the 15-minute chart, and the previous session was in the same way. Now at the moment, this is the current daily support level, which is, if the price come back here from this daily low, we are looking to buy in this market. And I think very highly likely we could see that the market to come back here, possibly to drop that, as the market structure showing that here pretty bearish in this market. Now that being said, what we are looking here for not sell at the moment, from this high to sell if the market managed to revert back again to the upside to this key level of resistance before it come back here. So now if you look at the 1 hour, you can see from this double top, the market has started to break below, and this is the daily low here, expecting it to come back and then to return, or going back up to the 4 hour. You can see it's now getting some rejection. So if the market goes back to 365,251 level before coming to this low, we will be looking for sell. Welcome back to this live session. And what's your thought on the upcoming two important news? One is consumer sentiment, the other one is inflation expectation. Both are high impact. And in the meantime, guys, if you enjoy the live session that I'm doing every day, make sure you like this stream and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. Press the notification bell so that you are not missing any of the content that I'm posting every day. Good morning. Welcome. Yes, so this is where, this is the resistance, this is the support level here. We're expecting the market to cross that low if it is the daily move that we are looking at, and then to bounce back from this level to create a new higher high in this market. So you can see that downtrend that's showing up a bearish move. The price action is bearish here, so we could be looking for selling, but because long-term trend is bullish, the market is approaching the daily low here. So from the 1 minute, we can see that the market structure is highly bearish. Okay, if the market is going here to this 3646 level, we might be able to find short-term sell here in this market. And that's where one way to look at the market here with multiple liquidity grab. If you look at here, you can see the market is grabbing liquidity here multiple times. The price grabbed the liquidity, and that's where we can see the market is possibly to coming back here to create a new lower low in this market. The 5 minutes price action that you can see, this is a bearish engulfer, but we are not aligning with the higher time frame. Otherwise we look to sell in that area. Highly likely you can see that break below here in this market. Alright, so the price is approaching that daily low. We see the market is breaking the daily support. So what are we looking at from this high here, guys? This is a complete break of support to this key level, and so what we are looking that the market showing in that area pretty sharp bearish move in this zone here, and that price action that you guys can see downtrend in a downtrend, and that might be coming to this daily low here and dropping back below the daily low is important for us to see possible entry, because it's coming for a potentially weak fill here in that area. So it might be very bearish here until it find a stronger support for a rejection. So until we see the market has come back here, fill that imbalance, we are still waiting to see either to go long or short here. Most likely we'll see that there is a bearish price action here in this area. We are seeing that break of the daily level that we are looking at here. So it's coming back to that potentially to 3630 or even lower. And once the market managed to break that 3630 and lower, we are looking at that entry here in this market. With a double top here on gold, we see that the market started to come back below, and that move, what we see guys here, that this is the lower time frame price action, and possibility to break that daily low is higher. Now once the price penetrate below here, we will be waiting for a rejection back here on the daily. That's our now plan, as we see that the price didn't reach the high and still it's coming here for a possibility to weak fill in this area. So for us to initiate an entry, you would like to see how the market is reacting to 3630 level. And if we look at the 1 hour, we can see that 3630 level, this 1 hour candle is still 18 minutes remaining, and If this current candle coming directly to this 3630 level, that means if it is moving in the next this 20 minutes time, 100 pip move, that's why we are looking at that entry. Which is some upside here that's showing up, and it was a winner, 3 to 1, perfectly. Yep. So this is a winner. This is also a potential winner. This is also winner. This is also winner. This might be break even. This is stop loss. So basically most of them, if we look at in that move, is especially when it is trending, okay. Now here the market, if you look at here, you can see from this level it started to break that low, which is absolutely trending back below here to this support level. Now going off the daily support again, now looking at the daily support, all right guys, so we can see that here in this area where the market is showing very sharp potentially a drop here to this support level, waiting on the market to show up here to create a new lower low, and is about to break this support on the lower time frame. With the head and shoulder formation here, it's now about to break that low below to this daily. Now once the price managed to cross that daily zone here, this is where you will be looking for potentially an inverted head and shoulder or a sharp double bottom or any kind of reversal pattern for a possible bounce back again to the upside. For our level is these are some of the levels that you will be looking for taking profit if we see the market manage to break that low. And as you can see that, guys, when you open the market, in fact most of the time goes our favor, is because of the patience is the most important part of a trading strategy, a trading psychology, that if you want to have that needed. And so yes, if you think that you have patience as a trader, if you don't have, that's okay, you can say that too, because when you express, you can also recognize it. So here is the move. We can see the market slowly trying to build that pressure back to the upside here from this support. Now if you look at here, you can see this is a 5-minute chart. We see there is a bounce here, but until this kind of price action, once we see that's formed on the purely to the daily low or daily open and close, we can look for entry from those areas. Waiting on the market to show up that low. Slowly building the pressure back to the upside here. Wanting to see the market is coming back here to cross that low, grab the liquidity, and then to revert back again to the major direction of the trend. where you can see the price slowly pushing that price back above here in that area. And okay, so you can see a initial breakout from this level, but as the prices still didn't test the daily low, we still didn't see that the market completed this fair value gap. Instead, you can see from this support it approaching that 4-hour level. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning of the session, so our plan in this session here, as you can see, the price didn't test the daily low. Instead, we can see that there is a rejection to the upside here. And because there is a rejection to the upside here, the market is approaching that top here, okay, which is resistance. Now, if the price is going back to that 4-hour resistance to break that high, we gonna sell for possible break below again, because it didn't reach the daily low. So therefore, if it is pushing back to the session's high, which is less likely to happen, but if it happens, we're gonna sell from this level, especially if this one single move bouncing off that level here, 3651.90 level. That's what we're looking at here in this market. This is a support level, expecting the market to, this is a double bottom here, and wanting to, the price is pushing back here to that key resistance line, and then to retest, revert back again to the major direction of the trend. So we see this is a the previous resistance here. The market is now trying to move back to that 4-hour level, where 4-hour resistance line, and with one single move, also the 15-minute chart, and also if you look at the 5 minutes, that we can see the price is heading back to that level. Are you going to sell here? It's a very one-way move here, and it's still possible that the market to go ahead, cross that, and then to return again to the support level. And here, as you can see, the market from this support getting that reaction back to the upside to that key level. And that's where from this double bottom, the market is approaching that key level, pushing that back to the upside here. And this is one area we could look for sell. But as a matter of fact, 36515.1.9 level is the most important area here to look at, as the 1 hour candle closing before the 4 hour close, expecting a revisit that high. And if the market managed to revisit that high, if you look at here, we're going to sell. You might be able to open position very soon. Okay, so I'm going to sell. This is gonna be a buy market order. That means stop loss will be little higher here to this level, to 3652 level. TP target holding on to this here. So we will be taking here to around 60 pip target. We might be able to change later. So this order gonna be fast execution. It's a buy market order, so directly we are entering buy market, sell trade, take profit to this level, stop loss above this high, very tight stop risk, smaller risk. Stop loss 3652.85, TP target here at 3639.01. We can adjust if needed later, but at the moment I want to catch some peep here for this potential drop, and we might close potentially quicker. So downside coming here on gold. Might be some bullish impulse. It has crossed this resistance line. So here you can see some bullish bias to that level here. We're looking to see this market to revert to the intraday support. And before the news, we have entered little earlier, but I still can expect it to revert to the entry. So with that move here with this trade, as with the 4-hour candle that I was looking at, 4-hour, so you can see this is a 4-hour doji, and with this 4-hour doji, it's now trying to revert again back to the major trend. Now here the market is on the 1-minute chart, is in a consolidation. We saw that there was a sudden bounce. This might be the effect of news coming up. We might see some unexpected data, and in this area here it's on a consolidation. So if there is a bounce, it didn't, the market, it should be coming back to this daily low here anyway. So you see the price still could revert to the downside here. At the moment you can see the price reach that level. Let's wait to see how it is reacting in that area. This is a very unusual bounce here. It's most likely because of the upcoming data coming up. Could be again very surprising, most likely, and that is probably giving some fuel on gold. And as the news coming in, it's 50 minutes, is still remaining quite a few minutes. So they're looking for a possible drop down. Right, so you can see there is a I think there might be an upside move in this area. It might go back to hit that key resistance line. So 1 minute price action on a key top area where the market structure showing that from here to now we are looking at here in this area. Currently we are 30 pip and from the 4-hour chart okay, so a breakup structure is expected here in this area. Our entry is here. Okay, so you might see some now possible break below here. So this trade we would like to just take at break even. So as soon as the market drop to our entry, we'll be exiting that trade because the market didn't behave as expected. So we don't need to take any profit. Instead, as soon as the trade will drop to that our entry, we will be exiting the trade, and that's what we're waiting to see. Market potentially to pull back to the entry level. And then we will be re-entering after the new market structure as there is a news coming up. Might remain bullish, guys. So where you can see the price to I think we might see slowly the market sentiment changing. So as because of the data coming, what we want to see here, a pullback, and I think the market may pull back to this support here, 23643, which is an important support, and the price may start potentially a bullish move later today with the data. Even a spike could come back to the upside, so, or downside here, but ultimately the market trend may start to be bullish again. So in this area here, so there is another 5 minutes candle closing. Okay, this is closing as a long wick doji. Now, looking at this 15 minutes price action, where we can see that there is potentially a 1 minute pin bar as well here, and okay, so here is back to back two liquidity candle here. Now if it breaks down, expecting it to come back to that previous support level or to have a trend continuation. So let's see that how the market is forming the structure in this area here on gold. And I'm looking at here in this area that the market to possibly return back to the support level, where is the market deserve a breakup structure. That's potentially happening. There's a long wick and wanting to see the market coming back here below, crossing that low, and then filling that long wick here. With this big doji. Now we are seeing that 4-hour candle close coming here, and before the 4-hour close, are you going to look at a break below, which is still possible to see that a break below before the 4-hour close, and then the market to trend again to the major direction. From the 5 minutes, many smaller narrower candles. So this is a possibly a new bullish bias here in this market, and from the 5 minutes, this is a very narrow pullback. Now I'm looking at the multi-time frame analysis here for this potential move in this market, and we have another 30 minutes before the news coming up. We see there is a consolidation, and that might be a very narrow pullback, and from this high, as one single move back to the upside, looking at the market to potentially continue to trend here back below to this support level. If we take the Fibonacci for pullback, this is the 50% area for this move. Now, quite a few narrower long wick candlestick pattern that you can see here in this market, and that is the zone More often rejection comes with one single move in one direction, and like one bearish engulfer that you are looking at here. Okay, we need to see that break, and potentially to this level. There is a 30 minutes candle close coming, and with this 30 minutes closed, and drop down, it's going back below. So what we're looking at here, the market to drop down to this our entry. Okay, so you can see that it's a with this triple top, the market managed to break below. Now in this trade we will be exiting at entry. So as soon as the market will reach at entry or even little profit, we will be out with the trade. That's the management of this trade, because we see that there is a break of structure, and this market could still continue to drop to the daily low, or it might go back again to the upside, or entirely could move in a sideway. This is a breakup structure. Now this breakup structure could be just pure liquidity grab here, or pure liquidity grab and then bouncing back up, or you could see that continuation back down here. Very unusual price action. Getting the reaction here with a one long wick here in this area. That's where you can see the market is here is a liquidity trigger. So this market might do a lot of up and down now. Here news coming up before the news. It may come back below here again. Okay, so it's pushing down here to the support level where the market is. If you look at the 15 minutes, that you can see it has grabbed that liquidity, and this is the 15 minutes price action that we're looking at for further potentially bearish move. Now this market might be entirely creating okay, we see some bearish move. Now most likely we'll see this break of support here in that area. Welcome, thank you very much. Yeah, we are on a trade that's moving. Okay, what we are looking at here, guys, this is a 4-hour move that we discussed. The market trend is so the sellers and the buyers both looks equally active in the market, where I think at the end, once the weekend closure, the market may remain bullish. I've set 3654 at least. I don't know what you other people think. So here at the moment, if you guys look at it, you can see it's in a sideway, right? So from this level, the expectation was market to come back to this daily support level, but we see that creating a double top, double bottom here. There is a bounce back to the upside here. Now this is the 15 minutes candlestick pattern that we can see, which is big doji on the 15 minutes. And now that price action, if you look at the 15 minutes, if not being able to break that high, we could see the market to break the low. But at the moment, we are in a zone where we need to see the market, in fact, coming back below for deeper pullback. So this is the 5 minutes candle also closing. So this 5 minutes candlestick pattern is after the green candle, another red candle, which is still neither bullish nor bearish, though is maintaining a higher low. Our entry here well below this level in this market. $3654 where sell should be. 3654 4-hour high. We want to see that the market has crossed that high, but before that it still can completely reject back again. We still have 20 minutes for this 4-hour candle to close. And that is where we see that here 1 minute price. You see the market structure. This is a two-way market structure. Can be bullish, can be bearish. Until it breaks in one direction, you won't be able to say exactly, because you see that it has broken back below, grab liquidity. It has broken up, also grab liquidity. So this market both bullish and bearish both. So it's a both bull and bear market. Cross that 4-hour high. I will not be opening any new sell entry here. So here is the potential rejection from this 4-hour high, that expecting to drop back down. This is where our initial plan here to enter, but we see the market is getting that potentially rejection from that level. We are still on the running trades. Let's see, but I'm right. Is the way let this trade, seen that structure and how to behave. So I have still limit 3653.70. I think if the market break that high and continue to rise, we might see that complete break above. If the market reverse from that level, we could see the price dropping well below. So depending on how the candle closing, also important to see here in this market. So before the candle closes, still can come back down. Okay, here is that move. We can see the market is this was our initial plan here from the 4-hour high to open, but we see there is some kind of rejection coming, and it is still can come back below to this daily low. And if it rejects strongly, we will be holding the trade for profit, like instead of break even. Because if it reject from this high, because rejected from the 4-hour high, we might be seeing that this market to potentially trend well below. So it is a market order. We had open, so is this coming back down? But we are still on the trade, and we're seeing that head and shoulder here, or trend continuation. I think still it's a high probability bear market. Still possibility for a downside here, though it is forming a long week candles. This market still can come back here to cross that here, because the way it is creating the price action here, which is potentially forming a reversal pattern here with a head and shoulder to come back below. But anything can happen. But at the moment, this is the 1 hour price action where what we see that there is a long wick. Now this 1 hour candle, if it is closing below as a narrower doji, we might see that the market to potentially continue to trend down here in the bearish move. So looking at in this area, that we can see the market slowly trying to build up the momentum here in this area. Okay, so with a liquidity graph here, looking at for this market to, we have 4 minutes to go for the candle to close on the 4 hour. What kind of market structure it is forming here? So with 4 hour candle close, and which is coming in just 45 seconds, and now that with the candle close we might see a complete break below or break to the upside. So here is the price, how the candle close will be an important 15 minutes price action that you can see from long doji here. And so some bearish rejection that you can see in this market. Now this candle completely could come back below or can go back up. Now we are here with this trade in this area, that this market showing very because of the data that you can see the market structure with the data has come to be very negative, as we mentioned earlier. This is why the market really behaved that way. And so you are probably out with this trade here. I'm still on it, but so you are out with the trade. This is the 4-hour level that was initially expected, and from that 4-hour level, in fact, there was very sharp rejection that we can see. So if you are on the previous candles high, where we could see that straight drop from that level. So our entry here was earlier in this trade. So the initial plan was correct, that the market to entered from the 4-hour high. Now with this price action here, as because of this is mainly, if you look at, as I mentioned in the beginning of the session, that consumer sentiment is well below the expectation, so that has fueled the price suddenly to be bullish, back to the upside. From this level we saw that the stronger bullish price action. So we might see now, with the all data came the whole week, the price potentially again absolutely. So now as we see that it's almost end of the week, and with this end of the week, the market may here continue to trend back again to the upside here. We most likely see that the market is trending back to the upside, to the major direction of the trend. So, and that's where we might see the market to potentially, for us to look for bullish entry, because it managed to break out, and we may see the market to trend back. And from the 4-hour resistance, we saw that initial drop, and then it has broken back to the upside. This is the 4-hour bullish price action with a series of high and low, and the market may continue to trend here to the upside to create a new higher high in this market. So we almost end of the week, and I believe that you guys enjoyed this whole week. We had a big session this week. Coming up another week with another so this trade here we had okay, so with the upcoming week, another trading week, looking for little increased volatility. Next week we will see that from Tuesday, big week with quite a few high impact news, including the FOMC. So FOMC is a big market mover, as you know that. So don't miss out, guys, in the next week for again to trade together in the live market. And that's being said, thank you for joining this live session. I'll see you again tomorrow. If you're in the premium group, we will be having some exclusive premium classes where we will be discussing about our latest tool, strategy as well as trade setup. And there I'll see you again very soon. Until that, stay well, stay happy.